In this video, we're going to focus on how we can put in objects like this couch here or the plant here on a floor plan. And in this case, I skipped the floor plan, but we're going to focus on the objects itself. So to do this, the first thing what you need is make sure you get the border template, which you can find here on chartjs3.com getting started. Once you're on here, copy this chunk of code and you're good to go. Next, if you want to have the source code of this video and many others, check out my Patreon page. And of course, got a question, put it on Discord. All the links are in the description box. So what we're going to do here is basically we have a floor plan, and I had it covered in another video. And now we want to move objects. So I'm going to focus here specifically on the objects, and probably we'll just continue on as we go. One thing I want to note here is I have 3 independent items here: a couch, a plant, and a table. And we're going to use them. These are just images. You can get any image that you want for this. So the first thing what I need to do is I want to convert this into a scatter chart. So we have a scatter chart here. Alright, that's what I want. The next thing what I want to do here is I want to have a minimum value of, let's say, 0, and max will be 10 meters, so I say 10. Once I did this, I need to make sure we have these points correctly, because right now there's no correct point. And I guess for the x we could do the same. Let's say here, comma, convert this into an x scale, and I'm going to say here we're going to have, for now, just 2 items. I'll say here we have one, x will be 3 and y will be 4, comma, we have another one here, x will be 3 and, or let's say 4, and then y will be 3. If I save this, refresh, you can see here now they're nicely close to each other. So what I want to do now is I want to convert these data points specifically into the couch that we have here. So what I'm going to do is just copy the link and make sure you copy yours wherever you got it from. So now what I'm going to say here is I'm going to create a constant, and we're going to call this our couch image. And that couch image will be a new image. And that new image, we're going to give this couch image our source, with a dot source, assign a source to it, because this new image is an image object. And then in here is wherever the source of that image is. So I'm going to save that and refresh. Nothing happens yet, because what we're doing here is we're basically loading the image, but we did not connect that to the data point. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to say comma, and then what I want to do here is we can maybe give it a label of couch. This label here above doesn't make any sense anymore because we have here all these numbers. Then we're going to scroll down, and then in here what I want to do here is use point style, and the point style will be true because we're going to make our own custom point style, and the point style will be what exactly? Well, it will be equal to the image that we have, and in that case it will be the couch image. Put it in there, save, refresh, and as you can see now it's showing. But of course these images are probably way too huge, and you can see here this doesn't really make sense, but if we make this smaller, it will eventually work properly. So what I want to do here is just to make it smaller. I'm just going to say here, this will be not more than 30 pixels in width and 30 pixels in height. Or else we just get default height and width of the image, which is far too big. This looks a bit more better. So what we could do now is, well, basically there's a few options here. If you want maybe the plant as the next point here, we could do the following. You can just grab this. It's going to duplicate it, but now I'm going to say this will be the plant or the table. I'll just say the plant. Say here plant. And then what I'm going to do is just going to get the plant source. Copy this. Put it in here. And for the plant, I'll make it a bit smaller. It's a small plant. So save that. Refresh. Nothing happens yet. We could, for example, copy this and say, besides our couch, we want to have our plant image. Save that, refresh. There we are. That's one of them. But now what I want to do is, I want to undo this. I want to keep it as a couch. I'll just make a new data set for the plant. And basically all these border colors and everything you can just ignore, or you can just get one single value so the legend would have a color. Of course you can assign that, but we'll focus on later on. And what I want to do here, just say plant will be here, and there will be only one plant. Save, refresh. And probably the plant is on top of each other of the couch. So what I need to do is, let's put it on 4 by 4. Now it will show here nicely. So what would make sense is to rotate this couch facing the other couch. So what we can do here, in the area of, or in the data set of the couch, we're going to say, after this, we're going to say here, rotate, let's see here, that is the point rotation, rotation, and for that, we could say, for example, 90 degrees. By default, it is 0. So if I do 90, you can see here, this one is rotating, but in the wrong direction. Or I don't want to, right now, both are being impacted. So let me just undo this. You can see here right away. I don't want this one to be rotated. I want this blue couch, basically, to be rotated. So how do we do that? Well, it's just like an array. All we have to do here is change that. Let's say here this will be 0, so do not move the first one, but then rotate the second one. And as you can see here, we have now this nice rotated couch. Of course, we could finalize it by having a table in the very center, but I guess this is quite self-explanatory where to put it here based on the coordinates 3 by 3.